probably the thing that is available today that is most useful, which is not used extensively in the United States, is diesel. And it's been really a very important development in Europe because, of course, it's the best way of dealing with CO2, which, of course, the Europeans are very concerned about. Whereas actually the Americans are more concerned about NOx and so-called carcinogenic particulates. Although there's no proof that diesel has got carcinogenic particulates, but people talk about it. The reality of it is that when you run our modern diesel engines on low sulfur fuel, which is available in Europe, and will become available, I believe, from September of this year, more commonly in the United States, then you actually get an awful lot greater distance out of a tank of diesel, because of course you burn less. With the turbocharger systems we have today, you get tremendous torque and performance. In fact, in some ways, a high-speed diesel engine that we build in Germany today and use in Europe probably is actually more suited to the States because it's all about torque. It's all about low speed, the sort of acceleration Americans enjoy from the traffic lights, from the kind of very fast takeoff that you get, rather than high-speed power, which is much more of a gasoline engine attribute. So diesel's interesting for the States. We said traditionally, and we still say, that until we can do 50 states with diesel and stay in the diesel business, in other words, be here continuously with it, and there is this wide availability of low sulfur diesel, then we wouldn't bring the engine. But I have to say that we get more and more enamored with the thought of low sulfur diesel being available and it making a contribution towards the environment here in the USA. And the reason we get more enamored with it is that when we go to Washington and we talk to the government, to people like that, they're much more knowledgeable about diesel than they were 12 months ago. I mean, if you mentioned diesel 12 or 18 months ago, you were really, really talking to a brick wall from most people in this country. Understandably, because the history of diesel has been poor. The domestic diesel engines 20 years ago, I believe, were relatively unreliable, not very powerful. And people had a bad experience. Of course, in Europe, the reason that diesel caught on as rapidly as it has done is that there are fiscal advantages to it. It costs you less to buy diesel because it's less taxed. And indeed, in some countries, you have a lower income tax if you are provided with a company car which has a diesel engine. So there are fiscal reasons in Europe for running diesel, which don't really exist here.